Welcome to Honestly Speaking. I am your host, Honestly Trina, and today with me, I have an amazing guest. This lady is an events coordinator. She has an amazing story, and you may have seen her before on the Ange and Kelly show, or the Kelly and Ange show. You know the show, the one that goes viral all the time.
Yes.
My guest is Jen.
Hi.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm loving the setup. It is pretty in here.
Thank you.
Mm.
I know we met previously in the kitchen.
I know, yes.
In the kitchen,
Yeah,
and
that was a fun time.
it was a good time.
It was a good time.
I mean, it was a viral time.
It was a viral moment, but they're always viral, so.
Always viral. But yeah, I really enjoyed meeting you. I loved your
Aw.
energy, your aura, your presence.
Mhm.
And then obviously I've seen you on Instagram. I saw
Yeah.
your amazing wedding. I
Thank
wish I
you.
knew her then, like, because I wanted to be at the wedding. But yeah, it was amazing to meet you. And more recently, you've been posting some really transparent conversations
Yeah.
about your personal life that we'll get into later.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I thought it'd be great to have you on.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Really happy to be here.
Good. So for the benefit of the audience that haven't seen you before,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about who you are
Mhm.
and what you do?
My name's Jendayi. I run an events company called Nose Events.
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm Jendayi Nose. And you know what? That name came about because, you know, Ange is like the coaches of all coaches.
Ange behind the
Yeah,
brand.
Ange behind the brand is
Yes.
the coach of all coach. So she will stay on your neck.
Yes.
And she's like, you just know so much things. So she's like, I don't even know. I think it was her that said that Jendayi knows.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that came about. So I've been running my own company for 10 years. Started off doing marketing, and now I do events because I was just doing events in general.
Oh, wow.
So for the last 6 to 7 years, I've been doing events. My niche is weddings.
Amazing weddings.
Yes.
Yes, amazing weddings.
My niche is weddings and media. So
Okay.
I do a lot of stage production, stage management, produce shows, etc. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know you
Yeah.
produce shows.
Yeah, do you know what? I like writing.
Good.
So I like to write, like write plays, etc.
Okay.
Love writing music, and I sing a bit. So yeah, praise and worship.
Okay. I'm like,
Girl, where you coming with it?
I'm like, what?
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of trading on the side, you know, because 7 streams of income in it, they say. So
Minimum.
do bits and pieces.
I like that. Well, I'm gonna have to speak to you offline because I've got
Yeah.
a novel that I want to turn into
Okay.
either a series or a play or
Mhm.
something. So yeah, I'll let
Let's
you
talk.
read a few chapters of that.
Okay.
Okay, so you're from South.
Rap. I even said that in my wedding speech.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did.
I was like, the berries, rap.
I can't believe.
I did. Yeah. So South London.
South
Love it.
London. Born
There's
and
nothing
raised?
like it.
Born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised South London, King's College Hospital.
King's College.
That's just a lie. Mine's St. Thomas's.
I was St. Thomas's.
What did you say, Thomas? Yeah, St. Thomas's.
And it's in Lambeth because people want to say it's Westminster.
Yeah.
It's Lambeth.
Yes, it
Waterloo.
is Lambeth. It's Lambeth.
Yes, thank
Still
you.
under Lambeth.
Yes. I know we want to make it seem like we're upper.
No.
It's Lambeth.
It's just a good hospital.
It is a good hospital. It is a good hospital. I actually had my kids there as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't have to. I was supposed to be like Westminster in Chelsea, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, I want to have them in the same place I was born. So
Do you know I had one in Mayday?
okay.
Yeah.
Croydon Hospital now.
Croydon University Hospital.
Yes.
And the other one in King's, because I was like, I'm never doing that again. Never happening again.
Because you went all
But
the way
we'll get
down
into
there.
that. Yeah.
Cool. So how was it growing up in South London?
It was fun, you know.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I just feel like South London feels for me like home, like it's
Yeah.
family. Everyone knows everybody. I think when you come out of South London is when you realise communities ain't communities, and you get a culture shock.
Is a culture shock.
But yeah, I enjoyed growing up in South London. My nan was down Loughborough Junction. So I grew up that side.
That's my hometown.
That's your
That's my SW9 Love Production Minute
Listen.
Road.
Oh, you're Minute Road.
Minute Road.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Pause.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, South London. I've always loved it. And then when I moved, actually, I moved at the end of primary school
Okay.
up to
What
Thornton
primary school
Heath.
did you go?
I went to St Xavier's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just you're really
Proper team.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So yeah, I moved up to Thornton Heath, and I was like, guys, I'm moving to Surrey.
It was
I'm
Surrey.
moving to it was Surrey then.
It was Surrey
Like,
then.
moving so far away.
It
Don't know when
felt
I'll see you ever
far.
again.
It felt far though.
It was far.
The
It was far.
109. Is it the 109?
109, yeah. And I think at that time it was only 109.
Yeah, I feel the
250.
250.
250, yeah,
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Brixton.
yeah.
But that journey felt long.
Look, if I was going Croydon, I felt like I was going really out of London. Obviously,
Yeah.
it kind of was at the time, but
Yeah.
because it weren't SW or SE.
No.
No.
But that's when Croydon had all the shops and stuff. Like, it was a day
Yes,
out.
It was a day out.
Now,
It was good
let's
times.
just...
Yeah, it's not the same.
Croydon is Croydon.
Yeah, it's not the same. So you grew up in the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, so I'm early 90s. I was born 87.
Okay.
So I'm the 90s, like proper 90s baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was that experience? How do you think that shaped you?
I think it gives you the old school wisdom because we know about the, like we spoke about earlier, the CDs, going to get your records,
Yes.
HMV.
Our price.
What'd you say?
Our price.
Our price.
Yeah.
Was it Saveways? I was trying to think of what it was
Quick
called.
save. Quick save. With no frills.
And getting the broken biscuits and trying to find the whole one in the packet.
I can't. You're taking it too far. Taking it too far.
Like, I think growing up at that time, it was still like you're out and about. So you would be playing out with your mates and playing out with your friends. I mean, my mum was quite strict, but my grandma used to let us play out.
Yeah, because she was grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah.
So you still had that sense of community, I would say, where you'd go down to Slade Gardens.
You really just touched all my homes.
Yeah.
I love Slade Garden and the rope.
Yes, and the rope in the
you
middle.
have to jump on and swing, and then people were piling on and jumping and swinging.
Exactly.
And it was like a hexagon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was so dangerous.
It was.
But the amount of stuff that we used to do back in the day,
you can do it now.
When you think of it now, like just jumping on top of each other on a rope.
No.
How many people
Health
can get
and
on the
safety
rope?
would have contacted. No.
Social services would have been down there.
It's so true.
We should actually go to see what Slade Gardens looks like now.
And they used to like climb, and like the wooden things would be broken sometimes. You have to jump across it.
Exactly.
No, they would have
just
shut
boxes.
that. Yeah, they would have shut it down.
Yeah.
They even like, I remember in my nursery, we used to have like wooden planks, and like you used to be able to build like things on the wooden planks and the boxes and stuff. And it like, they would never do that. No, that's too dangerous.
Had that, but
honestly, like people would
could get away with anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
anything. There was no health and safety. No,
and that's the thing. That era, it was just, you were free, innit?
Yeah.
I just think you were so much more free.
Yeah.
And I think that's the pressure that has kind of come with society. As much as we're not the social media era and age, it's still, we feel probably more pressure when it comes to like social media, etc. Because at one time it was just, anything will happen. You miss school one day, you've missed the whole action.
I'm telling you, you're out of it. You might have lost friends.
Exactly.
Someone's left the school. Exactly. Everything. One day you couldn't afford to not go to school.
Exactly. So yeah. I enjoyed it. I loved growing up in that time.
Good times.
Yes.
And what did you study when you went? Did you go college?
Yeah. So I went college. John Ruskin College. Croydon. And well, actually that's a lie. I first went to sixth form and did nothing. Like nothing.
What did you apply to do?
I can't even remember what the subjects were. That is how bad it was. Well, I remember my mum saying, find yourself to sixth form. When I went there, I don't even know what I did with it that time.
Oh my gosh.
I really don't know what I did within that time. So then I always wanted to go to college. So I went to college, which I should have kept myself in sixth form, basically. But I went to college and I did health and social care.
Okay.
But I didn't really know what I wanted to be at the time. And my mum was a social worker.
Okay, made sense.
Yeah, so I just kind of thought, oh, I'll just follow down that line. When I did it, I swear I watched one neglect video and I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, this is not for me. It's not for me. So I went into work after that.
Okay.
And worked my way up in retail management.
Do you know I never got a retail job? They didn't hire me. They didn't.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I worked in Sainsbury's. I got.
For how long? How long did you last?
I did time. I did my time. Like 3, 2, 1. Not really. But yeah.
Don't kill me.
I worked in Sainsbury's for about 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
While I was going like college and uni, I did that. It was hard, man. Like 2 days, 3.5 days.
Yeah.
Like I do like an evening.
Oh,
So,
okay,
yeah,
an evening
yeah.
job. Oh, so you did get a retail job.
It was Sainsbury's. It didn't feel like
Topshop.
No, I wanted. Everyone wanted Topshop. I wanted Topshop. I wanted.
That was some fun times. I tell you.
Dorothy Perkins. I'm not gonna lie. I would have taken Dorothy Perkins. I would have, or a Miss Selfridge.
Yeah, because at that time, like the discount that you got on the clothes as well. I think our uniform was like 90% off.
Oh my God.
But it was like any clothes that we would want. So yeah, it was fun times. I even speak to people now that's worked at Topshop. Like it was really a really good time.
With a concession downstairs. I would have taken Topshop.
I opened up the Stratford Westfields.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. But it's gone now. Obviously, there's no more Topshops anymore, is there?
So you did retail.
Yeah.
You climbed your way up.
Yeah, and then I went back to study.
Okay.
So I went and did my law degree.
Oh.
And I got my law degree. Yeah.
Yes, girl. What did you get? What did you get?
I got a 2-1.
You got a 2-1?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, yeah, I got a 2-1.
Good girl.
Yeah.
You're a good somebody.
Not good somebody.
Good somebody.
Law degree makes you good somebody.
A good somebody. Like, you know, okay.
But yeah, not using it. Well, I am using it. I do. My mum has got 6 degrees. So she had her
hold on.
law
Can
degree.
we just pause? Can we pause for Mummy and the 6 degrees, please? Can we give Mummy a clap? I love that. 6.
Yeah, she's got 6.
So you're
and
inspired.
One of them's a law degree. And law really interests me. I really like it. I just didn't want to become a solicitor.
Right.
Because I don't think the law is fair or just. Couldn't see I just didn't know where I would sit in with it. So before my mum opened up her foster agency with her partners, business partners, not 2 partners,
business partners.
Yeah, business partners. She gave me like her clients. So I was doing like the contract law, divorce law, doing those bits for her. So I've still got some because divorce takes time.
Wow.
Yeah, like some cases are long.
So. Like from your experience, what was like the main reasons for divorce?
Mainly because mum just gave me the clients. But I liked contract law.
I mean, in terms of the clients, what was the reasons? What were the grounds for their divorces? What sort of things were they divorcing for?
Okay, so what are the odds that I do wedding planning and then divorce? I mean,
wow.
Retainers. No, I'm joking. No, I hope none of I hope none of my clients get divorced. I hope none of them get divorced. Yeah, we rebuke that seriously. But okay, so there's a thin line in it between love and hate. And sometimes things can start off very, very amicable. But when, like they say, in relationships, the make or break is money, isn't it? So even if you haven't split for monetary reasons, a lot of the time that's what comes into play. Right. So the most smooth divorces are when it's just a 50-50 split. Yeah. When you don't like someone, you'll find things as to why you feel you deserve
I need
more.
70.
More. I need the 70%. Yeah. So I think the worst reason for me was the worst reason for me, oh God, can I say something?
Yeah, well, you're not naming.
I'm not naming any
No.
names yet. Was a PI, like private investigator.
Is
Yeah.
that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. Especially like when you get into like divorce and people start getting manipulative
Yeah.
and very competitive. Yeah. So a PI got involved and yeah.
I didn't know that was. I thought that was like America.
No. But you know what? I genuinely feel like I could be a good private investigator. Girl. I feel like any woman could be.
You know,
We had that
just
conversation
call
already.
me.
But yeah, I think you genuinely have to go through.
Wow.
Like you have to study and become a proper like private investigator.
Wow,
So yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm.
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
you've gone from retail, law degree,
Yeah.
and then where did you go next?
So I set up my business, and like I said initially, it was like marketing. So I had various clients, retainer. Can't really call it, yeah, retainer client that I was working for.
How did you stop working as a 9-to-5 person? What
Right,
drove you?
okay.
Yeah, let's get down to that.
Yeah, because the law degree came after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what stopped me was my baby.
Okay.
So I decided to give up work because I went back to work at 4 months. I don't know who I thought I was. Genuinely, I was like, I'm going to be this super boss mom and I'm going to work 9 to 5. And I genuinely wasn't working 9 to 5. I was probably working like 9 to 8.
Yeah, because it's retail.
And then they still expect you to work like 9 to 8. And even though I was like going and overseeing stores and stuff, it still wasn't, they just still expect that same level from
Of
you.
commitment, yeah.
So I missed out on a lot of like steps that like I just felt like the childminder's raising my child and I'm not raising him.
And it's interesting because this is going to come out on Mothering Sunday. So to have that conversation, I know I, like you, I was like 6 weeks. I'm back at work.
Did you go back at 6 weeks?
Who?
Oh,
In my head, like, because first of all, when I had my first child, I didn't find out until I was like 6 months and 3 weeks.
Pregnant?
Yeah, I'm like a size 6. I'm on steroids as well, so I'm getting a bit solid. But I'm thinking it's because my asthma.
So you wasn't putting on any weight?
No, flat. Like people can leave it in the comments. I was small. I was just tiny. I don't carry big anyway.
Right,
I
okay.
genuinely don't carry
Okay.
big. Like at 8 months, you think, is she even pregnant?
Yeah.
From the back.
Yeah.
So I was kind of taken back. Like, what do you mean?
I'm pregnant.
So I've got to finish working like 3 months, like 2.5 months.
And then you've got to notify them
I've got to notify and everything. So now I feel I've just got the promotion. So now I feel like I've been sneaky, you know?
Yeah.
So I remember like going to George. Shout out George Corey, my boss at the time. Love him. I remember going to tell him, and he's like, "What? What do you mean?" George was. He thought. I know he thought it was sneaky, but I actually didn't know George. I'm just letting you know, I really didn't know. But I just got the promotion, so he's thinking you just been leading.
Been promoted.
And now you want to go and take maternity leave with this short notice. And like I was like, no, don't worry. I'll be back in 6 weeks. We're gonna hit our targets.
And do you know that's how I felt as well, because I wouldn't have got the maternity. So I kind of had to hold in saying that I was.
Right, to hit the 26 weeks that you need to be employed to get the maternity pay. 26 weeks.
Make sure you're working there for 26 weeks before.
26 weeks. Otherwise you won't get
before you get up the duff.
So I remember thinking I'm going back in 6 weeks. And I was determined, because I was chasing targets, KPIs, and achieving them and getting bonuses and stuff. I weren't trying to get someone to do maternity cover and take my bonus. But I found out I could still get that on mat leave.
Okay.
still
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, George.
Ruth.
Ruth.
Thanks,
Oh,
Ruth.
Ruth.
She covered for me. Thanks for the bonus. It was lovely. But yeah, so I remember feeling like I could just do that, but I don't think mentally you actually understand like this is gonna actually change your life. I don't know if that was the same for you.
Yeah, I think it was exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for a lot of mothers that I speak to, especially new mums as well. It's like you just feel like you're going to be you.
Yeah.
And you're
You're just
genuinely
not.
you can't put yourself first anymore. It's like you've got a whole human being that you have to put first.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people, I think they go back.
Yeah.
I went back way too early. Like,
okay.
So I don't feel like I had postnatal depression. I feel like I created postnatal depression. Honestly.
You created it for
Yeah,
yourself.
I feel like I did because I just got so down within that time. And yeah, I wasn't concentrating at work. But then you're tired coming from work.
To go and do your real job.
Mother.
Yes, yes.
Being a mum.
That's it. And I feel like people don't realise that, even just women, I don't think we realise that that's a full-time job in itself.
Exactly.
Being a mum is a full-time job.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think when you have the baby, it's almost a false sense of security because they sleep a lot. So you feel like, oh, this is her.
Honestly.
It's okay. Oh,
it feels nice.
Yeah,
oh, this is nice.
This is easy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's just sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was a pest. Sorry. I was a pest. I was calling my team. How are we doing? Are we going to achieve the task? I was actually undermining the lady that was covering for me.
For you, yeah.
Sorry, Ruth. I was like, are we
Thank you, Ruth. And sorry,
thank you, and sorry. But literally, I was calling them like, oh, we're going to achieve target, because I'm knowing that I need my bonus because I'm maternity.
Yes, yeah.
And private sector, I don't know if people know, like not all companies have like a good maternity package.
Yeah.
So I think I got 90% for like 7 weeks or something like that of my salary.
It depends what company you're with, isn't
Exactly.
it? It's a lot different from being government. So
governments are different.
Look at
There's
you.
a different different experience.
Was that the second one you was government?
Different experience. But yeah, it was so I needed the bonus to come in because SMP
is what?
Was £118 a week.
How much is it now though?
I don't think it's much more. It might be 130 something.
Like in the cost of living crisis,
let's
actually look. Yeah, let's actually look.
Let's see.
Because in the cost of living crisis, it's mad. It's like you expect people to survive on that.
Let's have a look. SMP amount.
Scared about these nails on camera, you know, lad.
Don't worry. It's £187 a week.
£187.
187 a week.
So okay, so
or 90% of the employees' average earnings, so whichever's lower. So whatever one's lower, yeah,
is the one you're getting. That's the one you're getting.
The one you're gonna get.
Okay, so look at how much it is to run a household.
That right there.
Look how much it is to run a household.
My petrol for the week to do the school run is about 120, 130.
Okay, but can I say something? Trina's car.
Yeah. Let's just park that.
Trina's car. Let's just park. Why the petrol?
Yeah. So let me just drink the.
I think a Jag is gonna definitely take more
I'd have
petrol.
to downsize. If I had kids now, I'd have to downsize, because if that's what they're, well, anyway, I'm government, so that's not going to happen for me. Life. Yeah, like I'm gonna bike. We're going, you know, the bike with the trailer thing at the back. I'm gonna have to have the bike with the trailer thing.
The countryside,
you know, I'll be scared the foxes are gonna jump on the kids and stuff.
Oh my god!
And the what do you call them? The badgers and stuff. But but yeah, £187. But it was that's not gone up much. Yeah, like I had my eldest 16 years ago, and that was £118.
So that's only gone up by £60. 70
slightly
like
less.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's actually mad. But you know what? As they say in it, it's you have less help. That's why you have to really plan. That's why they say really plan.
You have to
before.
plan.
But it's just, it happens. I'm not gonna, my kids weren't planned.
See, the thing,
So when, like, well, it's God's plan, isn't it? That's what I believe in. So
well, my granny said, if you're not protecting, you're planning. If you're not protecting,
Stop.
you're planning.
But I got pregnant on the pill, you know.
My mum was born
The
from the
same.
coil.
This is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Sorry, mum.
So
Just talking about mum's business. But yeah, like literally.
Yeah.
So you see, maybe granny weren't right. If
Right,
you're
right,
protecting, you could still be
exactly.
planning.
You know what I mean?
But
God's plan overrides everything.
everything, yeah. But
Yeah.
I definitely think like you do need to plan, because I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? We just got our house.
Yeah.
We've refurbished the house, gutted the house back to the brickwork. Done. We're doing, you know, them times I was watching Grand Design, I was doing too much. I want whatever they got in
What they
Grand
got
Design.
in there, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, so okay, can we have
Shift
lights?
this, move
Lights,
this.
yeah, knock out the wall. Just thinking you can just knock out the wall, like
Do
you don't have
anything.
to just, you got to buy RSJs and
Planning permission.
yeah, planning permission. You just think you can just do anything. Oh, it's
Yeah.
ours. We can just do whatever. I want spotlights in the stairs.
Stop.
Just doing mad stuff. And then now you're pregnant and you're going to be on maternity leave.
You're doing something else, innit? Or
Yeah.
saving up for
Yeah.
something else, yeah. But
Yeah.
do you know what? They're a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, it spurred me to know that I can achieve anything, because I had very difficult pregnancies.
How was that?
So before my son, I had a stillbirth.
Me
I had a
too.
stillborn. Did you have a stillborn? Yeah. So I had a stillborn. So it's, you know, already.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, already. Yeah.
yeah.
So, from 16, I will say, because I've always had, I know we're going to get onto the endometriosis side of things, but it's my life in it. So it's always going to come in and play a part.
That's fine.
From 16, the doctors basically said, like, you're never going to have a baby. Not in so many words, but it's like you're always going to find it difficult to get pregnant.
I feel like they say this to a lot of people, because I had this same
And
conversation.
a lot of black women.
Yeah.
A lot of black women, they say it to.
Yeah.
Like, I think just because they can't work out what the issue is. So I started my period at 9.
No way.
Yeah. Very, very, very young. Yeah.
I was playing with Barbie.
I was still playing with Barbies. Playing Barbies and screaming down the house, "Mommy, I've cut my vagina!" Like,
not cut.
My vagina.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. So I was 9. So it's a young age to start. And then I started getting really bad, I call them periods, at 13, around that age. And then I think it got worse when I was around 16. And so I've been going to consultants, gynecology, etc. They just couldn't work.
From 13.
Yeah, from 13, I've been going to like gynecology departments, and they just couldn't work out what it was. But there wasn't a lot of information on endometriosis. And
to this day, I think it's still a bit.
Not. It's getting better. It's a lot better, and I think that comes with taking Black health a lot more seriously. Speaking to Black practitioners, so they completely understand how to discover about what's triggering for a Black woman. Because we spoke before, like, we all know someone that's got PCOS, we all know someone that's got endometriosis, we all know someone that's got fibroids, and even adenomyosis. I don't know a lot on that. One of my friends has got that. Nadine, actually, she's amazing. She talks about her journey as well. She's got endometriosis and adenomyosis.
Wow.
And
just for the benefit of the audience, can you explain what endometriosis is?
Yeah, so endometriosis is similar tissue as the lining of your womb, that grows in other places. So typically they just thought it was the lining of your womb kind of coming away, but it grows in the tissue grows, similar tissue grows in other places. So it can grow on your fallopian tubes, it can grow on your ovaries. But there's people that have the symptoms that come with that is pelvic pain,
Yeah.
back pain, stomach pain.
Yeah.
Mine travels to my legs, so a lot of the time the pain just travels all the way
Yeah.
down, and there's I can move, but I can't. They're just very, very weak.
Wow.
So those are the days where I have flare ups and I will be in bed, etc. So endometriosis, the thing is, so different
For
for
each
each
person, yeah.
person, and I think that's the reason why they've taken so long to take it so seriously, because they don't know where it stems from.
Right.
Like, they don't know if it's genetic. They
Right.
don't know if it's something that has come from environment. They genuinely
Just
don't
don't
know.
know.
So yeah.
And I'm hearing about it so much more. I know Lisa Mafia experiences it as
Yeah, you
well,
said, yeah.
and she talks about it sometimes on her her stories and her Instagram and TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff. And the first time I actually knew about it was one of my staff members had it.
Yeah.
Lovely person.
Yeah.
But she used to get really bad bloating. Like, she looked about
Yeah.
8 months pregnant,
Yeah.
and pains in her back and such, and they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But it was causing like a lot of bile in her stomach that they had to drain and stuff. It was
Yeah.
really, really bad, and I
Yeah.
don't think there's enough information out there for people. So what does the symptoms look like for you?
For me,
Yeah.
so I remember I was saying, I'm quite conscious, especially like my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, I feel bloated, etc. And it can be like worse than this, like even this right now. So my just in general, it's the pain and it's the heavy bleeding.
Right.
Because you can't do what you would go and normally do, because it is constant.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of women, it can be like, the symptoms can be even like hair loss, because the medication that we get put on. So I got put on a trial medication,
Right.
which basically the first one made me feel like I was going through menopause.
No way.
Hot flushes, just felt sick all the time. And then now I recently got put on one, and I was getting a lot of like brain fog, or you're talking to people, your mood swings are like insane. And I've just recently come off of it, and I feel a lot more, by the grace of God, I feel a lot more calmer. And I'm taking more herbal now. So there's a herb called dog blood, and I know
I've
obviously
heard about it. Yeah.
you know where it comes
Yes.
from. It comes from Jamaica. Dog blood, but the other name for it is St. John's bush.
Yeah.
And I've been taking that more consistently. And I think if I just keep with that, and yeah, just trying to stay as healthy as possible, getting more vitamin D, going on
Holidays,
etc. Yeah.
husband,
Husband.
holidays,
Yeah.
more. It helps.
And do you know what? It's having such a supportive husband. Like, I still call him my partner. My husband he's incredible.
Amen.
So like, he's the one to lift me up the stairs, to take me up to the bed. He's there and he sees it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a nice time, but it's something strangely that I'm used to. So I was very reluctant to talk about my endometriosis. As you saw that I posted it recently.
Yeah.
With Endometriosis Awareness Month. I just never wanted to be a victim.
Oh, you're so far from.
No, I
like.
I know, but you know when you feel like, is that
Define me.
Is that going to only be my story, or
Yeah.
are my clients not going to take me seriously because they're going to think I'm not reliable?
Yeah.
And that stems from work. So it'd be like, oh, she's taking time off because she's got a bad period. And it's like,
Wow.
no, I'm screaming out right now. I am in chronic pain. This is like a chronic illness. And I'm glad that it's being recognized now that it is a chronic illness.
Okay. Yeah. So does it come under the Disability Act if you have it over 12 months?
I don't know if it comes under the Disability Act, but it is recognised as a disability depending on
the severity.
the severity of your condition.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think need to campaign for that a little bit,
Yeah.
as well as sickle cell, actually. Sorry, I sidetracked, but
Oh, no,
that
no.
doesn't
And that's what I was saying.
classify,
The
yeah.
charity that I worked with, the ACLT,
Yeah.
African Caribbean Leukemia Trust
Trust, yeah.
charity. You've heard of them?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So they advocate for like for sickle cell,
Good.
leukemia, just general like blood, talking about giving blood, why it's so important,
Yes.
and us having like the RO subtype. I've got the RO subtype.
Okay.
But now I'm
Special.
not allowed to give
Give
blood
blood.
anymore. Yeah. They've stopped me. Yeah, I'm not allowed to give blood anymore.
Okay, because of your...
No, so I had a transfusion,
Right.
but it was my own blood. It's very rare, but I had autologous transfusion, which is your own blood.
Yeah.
So that was after I had my daughter.
Okay.
And the same with my son.
Mm-hmm.
But they knew that it was because I had a stillborn previously.
Yeah.
They knew
That you was
what
at
was
high risk. Yeah.
yeah. But then I gave blood after. But now because of the medication, they've told me I'm not allowed to. But hopefully, I'm praying that I can.
Eventually
Yeah,
again.
I'm
Yeah.
praying that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Hoping so.
love that you want to do that to
I
help
just think it's
others.
so important. Like, imagine just this little pint of blood that regenerates can save like 6 babies or 3 adults. Like, how incredible is that? Like, it's a no-brainer for me.
It's a no-brainer. And I am actually doing a blood drive.
Are you?
Yeah, myself and Vicky from Sickle in Me. So we're just in the background trying to get that all together.
Yes, yeah.
Some promo should be out soon.
Yeah.
Regarding that, we're looking
I
for
love
volunteers
that.
to help with the
Yeah.
blood drive.
Yes, yeah.
And we want to do a bit of a workshop around sickle cell. It's close to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely speak to you
Yeah.
about that. You touched on the stillbirth, and a lot of people don't understand. So there are miscarriages and stillbirths are after.
That's true. People don't understand.
There's a difference. There's a whole difference. There's a legal difference.
A legal difference, yeah.
So stillbirths are normally after
registered.
25 weeks. And you've actually got to go through registering the birth and the
death
death
at the same time, yeah.
at the same time. I know.
Yeah.
And how did that impact you? Because you had that before you had your first child.
Yeah. So it wasn't with my husband. It was with my ex-boyfriend, with somebody else, should I say. And I think I didn't I think because I was young. So I was 21, and if I'm honest with myself, I feel like I didn't mind getting pregnant. I know it sounds weird, but because you were told you can't,
yeah, it was like a relief.
Yeah, so getting pregnant was like, oh,
yeah, like
it wasn't the best circumstance to be getting pregnant in, but yeah, it was like, oh, okay, it can happen. I'm gonna have a baby, but it didn't even process about the baby.
It was more
like,
that I actually can.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it was, so as I spoke about the charity, and Daniel from why the charity was started, Daniel
The
the
girl, yeah.
He passed in the October. It was hard processing his death.
Okay.
And then I had given birth in February, and which was months after. And I think, I don't know whether it was just grief. I was a bit wayward at that time. It was, I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, I was a bit wayward. Weren't really listening to my mum. Then wasn't the best circumstances or situation to be in to be having a baby anyway, with the person who I was pregnant with. And yeah, I just remember just the bed soaked, and it's as you know, it's the most
Traumatizing.
like getting a scan, because I thought my waters had broke because I don't know. I
You
didn't
didn't
know.
know.
Yeah. So getting a scan, and Google is not your friend. That's the other thing. So getting a scan and there's no heartbeat is like the most traumatizing thing well, for me, that I'd ever gone through. And I remember my friend Yvonne, actually, she came down to the hospital. And yeah, seeing your baby, who's not really a baby, was, yeah, very, very difficult.
Yeah. And it happens more often than people think.
Yeah.
I've seen it, I've experienced it.
Oh, you've seen it as well.
Yeah. Like my best friend at the time, she was 9 months.
Jeez.
Yeah. So very similar situation.
Yeah.
And you got to give birth to the child. And I don't think people, it's that part.
It's that part.
Yeah, you've got to physically, and there's no baby trying to help. Like you've got to physically do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then you don't have the bundle of joy at the
end. Yeah.
Yeah, like for all of this, like especially now being a mum, like for all of this, like when you have the child, it's like, okay, the pain, all the tears, the lack, it's hard. But you get the bundle of joy at the end and you get to take the baby home.
Yeah.
But you go through all of that and then it's like,
go home. No,
go home.
That's
and
literally
then,
what it was like. It's home time.
That's it. And then all the stuff, your preparation, all the stuff is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
remember, I'd given birth on the day of my uncle's funeral. And it was, like I said, I was wayward. So my mum already told me, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you're moving mad, basically. And so I couldn't even tell her where I was.
Went
I
through it
didn't
by yourself.
No, yeah. So one of my friends was there, and my other friends, they supported me, etc. But I hadn't told her what had happened. I know one of them had called her, but it was like, I feel so guilty now when I think about it as well, because she's at her brother's funeral. She's getting a phone call that her daughter's in hospital. So by the time she's got there, even later on, it's like everything's kind of happened.
Yeah.
So it was,
Must have been hard.
Awful time.
And then obviously being young as well, like you don't even know, you probably don't
21
not
is a young
process.
age to you don't really process things at that age. You don't even know how to process your feelings properly.
Come on, even as a grown ass woman,
exactly,
now,
you don't even know exactly. You just try to block it out.
Yeah.
So my reaction from that was, okay, cool. Now I'm just gonna rave, serial date, and that was like the reaction to it.
And this trauma, I think sometimes when people look from the outside, they think, oh, how you doing with that?
And that's the thing, like, oh,
this
girl's just out 2 weeks later, whatever. No. But the trauma, I will say, I didn't process my trauma until, probably still processing it, probably even now. And like I was saying, I'm like discovering myself again, getting to know myself. Fasting at the moment is giving me a whole lot more clarity. But yeah, and therapy gives you a lot more clarity as well. But yeah, I don't think I even really processed it until probably even recently. Like, and then looking at your children, sometimes it's like, oh, like, you could have a sibling. You could have had a
know it.
Even though I know it wasn't the best situation to be in, it's still
a loss. I was gonna say, sometimes it's a loss. It's a loss, and people are like, oh, but how are you mourning for something you didn't have? Like, it was growing in me.
Like, people said that.
Look, the amount of things, like, yeah. And then, like, people, then this.
Or it's like a get over it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit like, oh, but you know, the situation wasn't a good situation, so it wasn't meant for you.
Oh, you got 2, you got 3, you got, you should be all right.
I know. And I think I'm starting to tell myself that as well. a bit like, oh, do you know what? You've got a good, like, you've got a husband, you've got two
kids,
kids, like,
nice
you're such
nuclear
an amazing
family.
dad,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I know it
Yeah.
well. I know it well. But yeah, I think just for women that are watching, give yourself grace.
Yeah,
Give
grace.
yourself grace. It's okay to feel the grief of the loss. It's totally normal. I like that you spoke about therapy. I feel, one, in our community, we don't really do therapy because you're airing your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
You must shut your mouth.
You say, yeah, don't tell no one your business.
Don't tell your business.
Yeah.
You talk too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Stop talking. But I think therapy is definitely a way to unpack some of that, because it is a loss, and you might not see it at the time, you might not feel it at the time, but as time goes on and, you know, things happen, you start reflecting on it. We compartmentalize a lot.
Yeah.
You think, oh, park that away, it's fine, I've moved on, I'm good, my
Yeah.
life is good, I've got this, that and the other.
Yeah.
But at some point that will come to surface.
And it licks you.
Yeah.
It's like you push all these things into a box.
Yeah.
And then, because that's one element of it. And then you're pushing all these other things. As soon as the box lids can't close, and all of a sudden you're like jacking a box, and you're like, oh,
too much.
This hurt me. Oh, that person's not moving right. Oh. It's like, it's actually wild.
Way too much.
But I will say, having like the friends that I have, so two of my best friends, they were incredible. And they were young as well. So their way as well was like, come, let's go out or whatever.
Yeah,
And
they're just trying to lift you up.
It did help at that.
Yeah.
It really did help at that time.
Yeah.
Nadia and Melissa, two best friends. They I made up honest. Yeah, they really helped.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of just getting on.
Yeah.
But it's me, you know, when you keep saying the word, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, and then it starts getting faint, like, I'm okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. Yeah.
And then it's just like,
yeah. And I didn't realize that it depreciated my confidence over time. So I wasn't confident to like talk and sing or in front of people. And I'm still trying to build that back up.
No,
now.
you have it. I can see it. You glow.
Oh.
Not like a bronzer glow.
Yeah.
You glow. You have such a nice energy about you. And it's hard to find. So it's even now that we're speaking, like, I thought we had a good conversation on the way here.
Already.
I'm like, what? There's even more stuff.
Do you want to tell them about the journey on the way here? Because that was a 2.5 hour
trauma.
Trauma.
But yeah, thanks for sharing that. Because I think, one, it's Mother's Day when this comes out. But two, people don't talk about that. We talk about, you know, the good things.
And it's those people as well on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Like, where they don't feel like they slot in to anywhere. And
no one don't acknowledge.
They don't acknowledge that you're still a mum.
Yeah. They have their angels.
Yeah.
They have their little angels.
Exactly.
You know, even if it was for like 1 minute.
Yeah.
But they carried them, you know?
Yeah.
People don't know the pain of the loss that you carried.
And the peace of your heart that can never ever be filled.
Never.
No.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, very challenging. But yeah, you carried them before anyone knew them. Yeah, that part. Anyway, I digress because that one's feeling emotional.
Yeah, I know. I could feel myself going.
Yeah.
I could feel us going there.
So you had your second child, your son?
My daughter. So my son's my first.
Yeah.
He's my eldest. And then my second is my daughter.
So you had your son and you said, I'm not doing this retail no more.
No.
But that was after you went back to work.
Like an idiot.
Let's get into
an idiot.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. You went back. And then you said you gave yourself.
Damn fool. Who does that?
No, because it seems like the right thing to
It
do.
really does.
It
And it's
did.
really
It's
not.
not.
It's not. Take your year.
If they
Take your
say
year.
38 weeks, yeah,
Yeah.
and then your statutory SMP,
Yeah.
you can go to 60 weeks at some employers. I took the whole 60.
I rate it.
I was going to take
I
6
rate
weeks.
it
I went from 6 to
to
60.
60. Times it by 10.
I was like, George, I don't think, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back now. I'm going to take the whole 60 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, George, I'm just not coming back.
It's just not happening. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, talk about that postnatal depression. What did it look like for you?
So that's what I was saying. Because I don't feel like I had postnatal
Right.
initially.
Mm,
Didn't feel disconnected
mm,
from, I'm not saying every postnatal is the same, but
yeah.
didn't feel like I had it until I went back into work.
Mm.
And I think it's because you're trying to be
The old you.
the old, yeah, and you're not accepting that there's a
It's a
new one now.
Yes.
And that new one needs an extra 150%. So
100.
before, when it's just you're
Just-
running on 70. Like,
yeah.
if I eat, I eat. If I
Yeah.
don't eat, it is what it is. This
Yeah.
baby needs you.
To be
Yeah,
at
and
your peak.
don't get it twisted. Tyrone is like the most amazing dad.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, he was picking up the slack. Like, if I'm leaving work, say, if I'm leaving at 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
but that 8 o'clock wasn't becoming just one-offs.
Yeah.
It was starting to be like he's regularly doing pickups and drop-offs because,
Oh.
and so it's like it had to stop. It had to stop.
Yeah.
And I could see myself like depreciate. I was like not accepting that.
Mm.
Yeah, babe, you should have, even if you was gonna go back, do a couple
Phase
of hours.
return.
Phase
Phase return.
No phase. Just
You're just
walk back in there, boom,
9 till you say 8.
like a fool. Like a fool. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was God that said stop,
You're
because
doing too much.
the battery was ready to, it was running dry.
Right.
So yeah, and I knew what I was like good at,
Mm.
and I just thought this is the right time to do this now. And I got to spend that time with him, and as much as I was working,
Yeah.
I still, yeah, and I was growing other people's brands,
Yeah.
etc. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that time that I had with him. So that's why I don't like to call it
Yeah.
definitively
Yeah.
postnatal, because I was never ever diagnosed with postnatal.
Yeah.
But I did get into a depressive state. That's what I was saying.
And
it
I
was
would agree with
postnatal.
you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't have postnatal depression in the sense of, but I definitely didn't feel like me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know who this new person was.
It's scary as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like how it's that one day you go to sleep as just you responsible for you,
Yeah.
and then the next morning you wake up
You're
responsible for a whole being.
Yeah.
Like this being needs to feed, eat, change
Yeah.
for you. Like
Yeah.
if you don't do that, obviously your partners will kick in your
It's of
stuff.
course, yeah.
But realistically, he's not breastfeeding.
It's not. Yeah. And do you know what? Talking about breastfeeding,
Yeah.
yeah. I lasted 2 weeks.
Did you?
I had a cesarean.
Oh.
And it was to be honest, I wasn't comfortable with breastfeeding, I just,
Neither was my sister.
But I had this was before I hadn't had a breast reduction yet. So I think I didn't like my breast.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was just too, I was like,
yeah,
it's too much. Like, so yeah, talking about breastfeeding, I really rate women that continuously like do breastfeeding.
It was
I think
my
it's
bonding.
amazing.
It was my bonding. I did over a year. But I went back to work. So even though I left that job, I went back to work in a new job.
Okay.
And I remember my first day was in Sheffield.
Oh wow.
I'm still breastfeeding. But I'm thinking, cool. So I got the fitted,
Yeah.
pinstripe, fitted dress, done up at the back.
Stop it.
I've got the nipple pads in and everything, nursing pads. And I'm gone off to Sheffield, dropped him off at Nanny's. And he cried. because it's the first time he's really
Yeah.
been. I'm thinking
Been
I can
away.
just do this. It's nanny. You like nanny?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not a childminder.
not- yeah.
It's nanny.
Yeah.
So dropped him off, and I've gone to Sheffield, and he's cried. Nanny's like, Minano? I don't know. I don't know. The child won't stop crying. Like, she's just like, he's crying.
Yeah.
And she's calling, and I'm feeling like I need to just get off the train.
Mhm.
She's like, but it's okay. Just go.
You
Thinking,
just
"Are you
used
gonna
to,
tell
yeah."
me this? I'm emotionally, I feel like the worst mum ever, because I can hear the crying, and I'm just still on the train. Get off the train.
It's that pressure,
Yeah,
innit?
get off the train. Why are you still there? No, but I'm corporate me. I need to
Yeah.
still, I'm
Go,
fighting
yeah.
between myself. So I've got there, and I've got to this like a really nice place in Sheffield, hotel and everything. And we had our speaker, and I'm sitting there because I'm feeling like the boss. I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
I'm
Because
back in the
before my
game.
vocabulary was just gone. I'm watching baby TV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how to talk anymore.
Yeah,
So,
yes, I
but
hear
I'm
it.
here. Yes, and I've got the
Ready
blazer
to
on
go,
and the
yeah.
dresses. So I'm sitting there. I can't even believe I'm sharing this. And I just felt something like wet on my thigh,
Breast.
dripping. Like there's a big patch, just patches here. So I've gone to the bathroom, but remember I told you it's done up at the back. Now they're big now. Because they're full up.
Yeah,
they're all hair
filled,
around the side. Everything's just swollen. Like I'm like a G. Everything's swollen, it's full up there, up here, and so I can't get behind here. I can't get to
No.
try and do
And
the
you ain't
zip
got
down.
no pump.
No pump. I don't know what I was thinking, because I felt like I was weaning, because I was weaning for the solids. So
Yeah.
he was only having it morning and night. So I knew that I could
Okay.
go
Yeah.
and come home, and it would, nah, not today.
No.
Not today. Not today. And it just leaked everywhere. It was just profusely. You could just see it dropping through the clothes.
Gosh.
Pads gone. Everything's just dropping. And I remember this lady. She's like, "You new mum?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Aw.
She's like, "Let me help you." So she undid my zip for me. I'll thank that woman. Undid my zip, and she's like, "Stay in the cubicle." She rinsed it off for me, dried it underneath the hand dryer,
yeah.
and then I was able to put it back on and everything, put new pads in and that. But I was trying to ease off some of it, to just try to get out, and it wasn't working. The more I was doing that, the more it was just. So I just had to keep on changing the pad, but it was horrible. And then I had all this guilt, like, how are you lactating and your kid's there crying, refusing to eat, and he's petitioning, he's not eating.
But it's like we sending it grace.
Grace. Yeah.
And we don't know how to give it to us. We don't know how to give it to ourselves. It's really bad.
I'm like, I'm just gonna give up work. I can't do this no more. I just can't, I'm just lactating. It won't stop. He's crying. He's not eating the food. He's with nanny. He's with nanny. Why is he not? No grace. And my son, he's stubborn to this day. He every day he went to nanny's. He wouldn't eat for 3 solid weeks. Cry.
Yeah, but do you know what? That breaking out period.
It was a
no
break.
one talks about that break. Listen, trying to get them in their bed, no one talks about that, because those 3 weeks are
honestly.
hard.
Then on week 4,
hard.
after the weekend, I've dropped him off, and the man's just running to the house. No goodbye.
See, that's what makes it worth it, isn't it?
No, because now I'm even feeling worse now. Now I'm like, so what? You don't even want
to be around me?
With me. Then he's crying to leave nanny. So now I'm like, right, hold on. You've got a more bond with nanny. I'm like, no, I can't have this.
This is not. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
I'm coming. He's lie down with nanny in the bed. I'm like, what? What's going on here? But yeah, it's so traumatic for women. And I love how you were able to take that choice to choose yourself and not choose the 9 to 5.
Yeah, I thought, you lot ain't running me no more. I'm not running myself ragged for these people. They don't business about you as well. And especially when you're in management as well, you see people come and go. You know how much certain decisions you have to make
You have
that
to
you're
make
not
yourself.
even sometimes
You don't even want to do it.
You're not even comfortable, and it's like what you are to them is what your managers are to you. So bounce later. Deuces, thanks.
So what was the next step? So you decide this is ain't for me. I'm not doing this anymore. I want to do what?
So I did marketing at basically at Marks. I was doing marketing as well. So it was like coinciding with what I was doing. So I decided to set up my own marketing. What do I call it? What do I call marketing agency? It was just me one, yeah.
But it was an
Marketing. I was doing
agency.
consulting.
Oh yes, marketing,
Sorry, yeah,
consulting.
consulting. My cousin does marketing.
Yeah.
So she's like, you're so good at it, like you're really good at it, etc. So I went into that, and she helped me like draft up bits of what to say, and started doing pitches and working with like various small brands, etc. And yeah, it was good. Like it was paying the bills. I was enjoying it. Then we went into lockdown, like, so I was doing that for like a good couple of years, and then we went into lockdown.
How did that impact you financially?
Do you know what? I had a contract at a company. So I had a contract at a company which was basically, I started 2 weeks before we went into lockdown. And yeah, they paid me for 3 months, and I was still doing consultancy for another business. So I was still like working with them.
Yeah.
And so I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed lockdown.
It was good for you.
It was good for me to a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Tyron was doing his thing with like training and stuff. So we was able to like look after the kids and still go and do bits work-wise, etc. So it was fine. Like, and then yeah, we came out of it. We came out of it.
I miss lockdown. Don't want to say it too loud. I don't want to go back in.
You miss lockdown? No, I don't. I enjoyed the time I was taking for myself and my family.
Yes.
I enjoyed the time we were spending together as a family.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy what it was doing as a country.
Yeah.
Didn't enjoy that at all. But I wish I could take on some
Those
of those
elements
that I was doing with myself at the time.
Yeah.
Hair was thriving.
Yeah.
Like
Everything.
Everything had time.
Honestly.
Skincare.
Yeah.
Hair felt good.
Yeah.
Like
everything. I was healthy in lockdown.
Healthy.
I was doing 6.5K in the morning before the kids would start their online learning. We'd all get up and do 6.5K.
Stop it.
Yeah, I got them up at 6 o'clock because what you weren't going to do
is
stay and do mad stuff during the day when I've got to manage the people then.
Oh yeah, because you were still working,
I was still managing remotely, but I was managing. But
yeah, but
you've got too much energy. Yeah. You've got energy running around and I'm on the telekit. No, you need to get tired.
Were they doing the school thing?
But they were finished quick.
Oh yeah, I know there was some foolishness. Half an hour, 1 hour. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, they've got like self-learning. I was like, how? Like, Elijah, you finished? He's like, yeah, Mum, I did that. Like, it took me 10 minutes. I'm like, no, you couldn't have done it. The boy's done everything. So what is this? How? So what?
I knew
what do you do?
that I could not do. I could
never be a teacher.
Could never be a teacher. Could never homeschool. It just could not work. There were certain days I was just like, he was like, oh. They told us to go on, but the signal thing or whatever, he's only like 6 at the time. He's like, Mum, the signal thing's coming. I just said, shut the laptop. Because at this point, like, everyone's shouting over, they're taking themselves off mute. Like, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
To be fair, like, the teachers did an amazing job that they were there.
They tried their hardest.
They did well. But some of them were parents as well.
That part. So you've got your child running around, plus I'm trying to teach 30 other children. Yeah, I get it.
It was a lot. I think there was like downsides. Like my son was just starting secondary school, so he didn't get that whole year 7, you know, going in and stuff. He didn't get
was
all of that.
It was in his first year.
Yeah, he didn't get all of that.
Okay.
Like, because I think we came out for a little bit of lockdown and we went back in, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And that's when it impacted them.
Yeah, because it was that September. Because it was, I think it was 2020, September, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they let us have a couple of summers, then all of a sudden everyone was getting lit down with everything, and they said, Yes, stop. Stop again. It was September. Yeah, I remember.
I remember driving up to the beach, Cambersan, straight away.
You know, you just try and do everything, innit?
Honestly, now you can't get me to drive down there. But then when they said you can just quickly jump
Let's
in
go
the
and
car,
do
come
it,
on, let's jump in. I'm going after work. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. We can make it. An hour and a half. We'll be there. We'll see the sunset. Quickly, just go. It was crazy stuff. But yeah. So okay. So that happened, and you've come out of that now. What happens from there?
So I don't think they tell you, like, with entrepreneurs, like, this is what I keep saying, yeah. Not that I think entrepreneurs are amazing people, right? But I want to be a business owner. I don't want to be an entrepreneur.
I own a business.
To a certain extent, yes,
yeah.
Entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
but I want to own a business. I want it to run. I want to be able for that business to be able to run when I'm not in the country.
Yes.
Like, I can check in, my staff are doing. So that's the goal of where I want it to get to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a online service. A part of it is a bridal and groom, I want to say, because it's not just brides.
Yes.
But a DIY service where they can create their own luxury wedding from start, because we have to think about the economy that we're in, and there is cost of living crisis, and I feel like every bride deserves to get a luxury experience, and whether or not it's on a budget or it's not on a budget, I feel like they deserve that. So it's basically somewhere where they can just pay and they can have their own wedding from start to finish. So from the logistics side of things, it just makes it easier for them.
How did you go from marketing to now
events.
doing events and weddings?
So events, if you see my son's parties, I have to show you. So I've always been elaborate with my son's parties. His christening was basically a wedding. So his grandma, so Tyrone's mum, she's always done like elaborate parties as well. And my mum's always given us a party. So from that, I'd started to do my children's parties, done for friends, family, and then people started booking me to do parties for them. I know I'm not the best at showing everything on social media. But
I think you need to do better.
Yeah. Please do not let Angeli say that. My neck.
Never turn down.
Yeah, never turn down.
Never turn down.
That part. Yeah, yeah, so I was doing that, and I just realized it's something I really enjoy. Like, I didn't really enjoy the marketing aspect of it, and I'm someone who's always behind the scenes, so I love doing stuff for other people, like their companies, etc. But I'm very hard on promoting myself. So so I really enjoyed doing events, and then I just thought, this is it now. Like, I'm doing stage management, I'm doing these bits.
Yeah.
Let's start my events company. Yeah. So I was doing event consulting, and then I started my company.
And how easy was that?
Still not easy. I'm still in the blocks of working it out. And as a entrepreneur or self-employed, you're learning something every single day about who you are, because that reflects on your business and your company. Learning, things change all the time.
Yeah.
We've got AI now, so it's being able to introduce that. What is that going to look like in the future with events, especially? Because I was saying to Tyrone, my husband, the other day, I said to him, I mean, are our kids going to be dating online? Like I was starting to think the other day, and then I was like, bro, I just came up with a business idea, but I don't want it to be the business. I was thinking, are they going to be like on Uber Eats, choosing their meal, the other person chooses their meal, but it's like they can't physically see each other, but they can start a date online, because that's where the AI world is going to. Yeah, so you can have your first date just in your bedroom.
I was about to say I'm not there for that, but I feel like I could potentially be there for that.
Yeah, with your son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get to know each other.
Yeah, she stays in her house and you stay here. I will even pay for your thing. and I've got to log in so I can see what's going on.
Unfortunately, it's not authentic. And these kids
It's
don't know how to
not.
communicate great anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do they meet each other now?
On the
'Cause
bus,
you're at that stage.
apparently on the bus,
Oh,
on the
okay, they're
way
still
to and
meeting on
from school.
buses.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're approaching each other because
They're taking snap things and stuff like that. That's how they,
oh,
yeah. It's not
okay.
BB pin again.
BB pin is gone. Okay,
It's
yeah.
got it's Snap now.
Okay,
It's not
cool.
WhatsApp apparently. That's for
Yeah, the
old
older.
people.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
got told this for the aunties. That's what my son told me.
I'm an auntie.
I'm a, no, I'm not auntie yet. No. Let me talk to this camera. I'm sis.
You're sis.
I'm sis.
I'm an auntie
I'll
still.
do. Once I hit 40, I'll be auntie.
Yeah, I'm auntie. I'm like nearly mid
I'm
40.
acting like I've got time.
I'm a whole auntie. I embrace
I hear it though. You got a 16-year-old though, innit? Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah.
auntie. Like,
And do these friends call you auntie?
no, they call me mum.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, respectful.
Respectful. Yeah.
Because if they don't, I don't like them.
Right.
Yeah, like, because what we.
Okay. What?
Like, do you know, like, I find it strange, like, why are you as a child calling me by my name?
Yeah, no.
I wasn't
get
raised
that.
like
I
that.
do get that. No, do you know what? My son's friends, they will say auntie
Yeah.
or they will
Or
say
so and
that.
so's mum.
Yeah.
Like, I
But they
don't
will say
mind that.
Zakai's mum.
Yeah, like
yeah.
that. But don't
Yeah.
think you can just call me
Yeah.
because I'm gonna ignore you. What we like? I couldn't go and call my mum's friends by their name.
No, never.
Like it's
Never.
auntie so and so.
Mhm.
Like, do you know, so bad when I was like working for the first time.
Yeah.
Because everyone was older than me. I'm going around like, hi auntie.
Yeah.
Auntie, like auntie. Everything's auntie, and they're like, this is a workplace.
It's a workplace. This is a workspace.
But it feels so bad.
But yeah.
Like I can't just
Calling
call
them
you
by their
Sarah.
first name. Yeah.
Like who's Sarah?
You might have had to say Miss Jones.
And the lady pulled me aside and said, don't do that. Don't do that. It's work.
Oh.
It's work.
Is this when you first got into
when
the
I
workplace?
first got my first Sainsbury's
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's taught me so
Aw.
much, you know.
That's why retail jobs are needed.
Honestly.
Because it does teach people about that first
Social
step of
skills.
working. Yeah. Honestly.
I never engaged with like elders that weren't like family, friends or relatives. So
before then, yeah, exactly.
So everyone was auntie and uncle, but not in Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Like Jo, the customer service manager, she's not auntie.
Auntie, yeah.
And I think it took me so long to like figure it out in my head. I like try and get their attention without calling their name because calling the name just didn't feel right.
Right.
So I'm like, hi, how are you? You're right. But yeah, that I think online dating, I mean, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for me.
It's not for you.
No, I did 24 hours on it.
Okay, so you haven't really tried.
I did. I don't even want to tell you what. Babe, I think I had a breakdown when I saw the swipe.
It's too much.
It's not real. And then the third swipe was my ex. Imagine, the first swipe was my ex that I had just seen that day.
Sorry.
No. What are we doing?
That's why you locked it off. That's
unsubscribe.
No, that is the crazy bit. I mean, I've never done online dating.
I mean, well, you're a whole married woman.
I know. Yeah, I've never been in that world where.
How long have you been together?
We've been. We always make this up, to be honest.
Don't tell me you don't know.
No, because we were saying some different numbers. 13 years. No, we both was like, yeah, I've been together for. I think we were saying like 12 years or whatever. It's been 13 years, this year.
Oh, wow.
I think.
13 years. That's beautiful.
13 years this year. 13 years this year. Yeah. So, yeah, we've been together. But you know what? We didn't have the traditional, like, oh, get together.
What do you mean?
We was in a club.
In the club?
In the club. We was in a club. His cousin had slapped my mum. Ciao. We parked that there. I'd thrown a drink because I thought it was him.
Oh, you were like, what?
Yeah. Literally. Literally, I thought it
Jen,
was it.
decent Jen.
Yeah. That was bad. I was bad.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
was rude. Like that was definitely
Yeah.
gone too
Yeah,
far.
you've gone too far. So basically, yeah, came outside, called one of my friends that he was coming down. He knew
Called a
them.
man then.
Yeah.
That's what you're not gonna
It
do.
was just, yeah, I was just like, I've had enough. I've had enough. He knew them. Then the week later, I was at a christening, who I didn't know that it was his cousin's christening.
Wow.
So we met there, exchanged BB pins.
BB pin.
Exchanged BB pins, and it was like a whirlwind. We got together quite quickly, you know. Like we literally spoke on the phone for like hours and hours and hours. Went on
Can
a
we bring
date.
back speaking
Can
on
we
the
bring
phone? Can we?
playing love songs, sleeping on the
Fall
phone?
asleep,
Yeah.
wake up. The sun's rising.
Yeah.
We're looking at it together. The moon's
Hi, you
out.
still
Yeah,
there?
hi, you still there? You know.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
it
put
was
the phone down.
lovely.
No, you put the phone down. No, all right, you put the phone. Let's put it down together.
Yeah. You first. Yeah, no. So yeah, and then I was pregnant 7 months after we met.
No way.
Yeah, so like I said,
Jen.
God don't try to do nothing by mistake. Yes, and that was
Imagine.
on the pill.
God said, "This is you.
Yeah, he don't do nothing by mistake.
This is
He
you."
don't do nothing by mistake. And as much as, yeah, we was 25, so not that young, but yeah,
No.
young enough.
Yeah.
And Mum was like, sorry, from who's this man?
Where you meet
Who's
him?
this man? Yeah,
Where you
who's
meet
this?
him?
Who's this man? But she's met him. She fell in love with him. She loves him to death. And it's not been an easy road. There's been ups and downs. And I don't want anyone to ever look and be like, oh, it's couple goals. And I always say this: never look at another couple and use it as your goals. Your goals can only be the two of you. And yeah, now we're married. Now we're married.
Yes.
2 kids later.
And married.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. And I don't think we see a lot of married women online. So it's good to like get your perspective.
Yeah.
Um,
And he lets me be me. Like, I think that's what I do love about him. He just lets me be the craziness, the creativeness, oh, you're trying this idea. All right, babe. Yeah, cool. Go for it. And that's what you want, someone that
supports
compliments
you
you.
and
Yeah,
compliments
supports you.
Yeah.
And I've had my time of supporting him. And now he realizes, especially after, you know, the kids are older now, they're a lot more independent. And it's like, yeah, ready for you to do your thing now. Yeah, which is nice.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And what do you think has made you last so long? When people are getting divorced after 2 days.
Can I be honest? Do you know what? When we got engaged, and that process, like that time after, I was a bit like, oh, damn, Jen, you're gonna be with someone forever. Like, obviously you're with the person in, but you're like,
Forever,
forever,
ever?
forever, ever. So it's like, it's not even just about him or anything, but I was a bit like, do we even like each other? Do we enjoy each other?
Questioning everything.
Yeah,
the devil.
You do, yeah. Obviously,
liar.
the enemy comes and attacks, and it is, a lot of it is not just about even the person. It's more about, you're just in the mode of like, you live together, you've got 2 children, you do this drop off, we sort this out, we do, and then you're like, how much time are we genuinely like spending with each other? How much do we know each other? And then we made a conscious effort to get to know each other again, because they always say there's the 7-year mark, right?
Yeah.
Where you change your
7-year itch, yeah.
7-year itch, right? And you change your personalities change as well. You're different people. I'm not the same person I was when I was 25.
Yeah.
So you just sometimes take a step back from the rat race of just constantly going, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you like that, or just getting to know each other and kind of falling in love again. So what I will say is therapy. We both got baptized. So for
God
me,
is in the center.
God is the head, the center,
And
the round, the triangle, like
everywhere.
listen, because I had to question myself, like, am I actually ready to be a wife? Like, it's all good saying, oh, you know, like, I want to get married, but that was the big question for me. That was, yeah, like, are you ready to be a wife? And not just about being submissive, but what does that look like to you, and understanding that. So yeah, therapy. We did couples therapy, ministry therapy, and we got baptized on the same day last year. But no one don't tell you about enemy attacks after you get baptized. You know, they want to come and that's when they want to pop you down. So things were happening, and it was like, whoa, like this should be like the most happiest period.
Yeah.
Got baptized. Everything's fine now.
Yeah.
Once you get dunked in the water, you think, yeah, I'm
cleansed.
good now.
Yes.
Yeah, everything's going to be all right. No, that's when, I don't know whether, the enemy just wants to come in and just destroy things. But and we're still learning each other. Like, because as much as I'm like, oh, I didn't really know who I was because I was just mum Jen or partner. And then it's the same for him.
Yeah.
And we don't recognize that in men as well, like that they're taking the load as well.
Yeah.
They're looking after the kids. They don't feel like themselves. So when they do get their escape with the man them, obviously certain times you're cussing like, well, I don't cuss. I'm like, me and Tyrone, we love our own space.
Yeah.
That
so
is
you're like,
what
go
is
have
amazing.
your time.
Have your time. And he will say the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that God's in the center,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, not to get too spiritual about it, but the attacks come when you decide what side you're on. Because the attacks come when you decide what side you're on.
Okay.
Because when you've not decided, you have decided.
You have decided. Okay.
You see what I mean?
I'm glad
you're
know.
in the world.
You're just in.
You're just there.
Exactly.
You're there. So I don't need to attack you
as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
That it's like you're not trusting God, and sometimes like even he might remove people, or he might add people that it's unexpected, and you've just got to really trust in that you've gone down the correct route, which is the only route basically. At this point.
The only route. There's only one way.
Only one way.
There's only one way.
And you're a Christian as well, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I think I found a new home in terms of a church. I think I found one.
Okay,
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Because it's been difficult actually for me. One, because of locality. Two, I'm a soccer mum. Like, so I have
Sundays are wild. Yeah.
Sunday, Saturday, every day.
Yeah.
Just every day. Sorry. I love being a soccer mum.
I mean, the way you say soccer mum,
football mum, but yeah, it just football mum.
It don't sound right, innit? Yeah. Footy mum.
I'm definitely that mum. I'm the loudest one there. Tell your kids not to injure my kids.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, yeah. I'm just not here for that.
Do you know what though? I didn't realise the way that they go on.
It's very aggressive.
I don't even turn up at the football matches as often as what I used to, because it gets a lot. Listen, one time the parents were looking to fight. I said, what?
I mean,
I was trying to work out, has he signed to Arsenal? Has he got an Arsenal contract?
What's going on here? So my son's always been a bit bigger than everyone else.
Yeah,
he's very
tall, isn't
tall,
he, as well,
and he's athletic.
Right.
Thighs
okay.
are half is
like,
so they will, like, I'll hear them plotting like, oh, we need to like tag team or triple. Like, what do you mean actually planning to injure my child, and I'm just supposed to stay here and just
and
just
let it
this
happen. No, darling. No, no.
So I've got to notify my son, obviously. This is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, just know what
Protect yourself.
protect yourself. Like, and make sure you mum, talk to your son.
Yeah.
'Cause the consequences and repercussions. Don't injure my son, please. I'm not
Stop it.
I'm not here for it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind if like you lot are playing and like it's an accident, but don't plan to injure.
Yeah.
That is calculated and that's
innit?
dangerous.
Yeah.
And like, that's not just ruining someone's game. You could ruin someone's career or, you know, injure them like in life. So
Yeah.
I don't
play those
yeah,
games. Yeah.
let me just, my son knows when it's getting like that. Mummy, I think you should go to the car now.
It's time for you to leave.
It's time for you to leave.
Leave the building.
Leave the building. My daughter's like, Mummy, I just don't think you should come.
No, I don't think you should come.
Because you're just so loud, Mum.
Oh, stop.
You're so loud.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
because she plays as well.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
she's a defender. I used to
Yeah.
be a defender. You got it from me.
I used to love playing football.
Loved it.
Then I met Tyrone.
Oh,
Now, let me tell you something. No, I still enjoy playing football.
okay.
But that man
Yeah.
is a football fanatic. Like, I swear, I even say sometimes, he's going to cuss me for saying this, but I swear he watches like under ones. Like, he just watches every football possible, like German football, football, this sport. And I'm like,
football.
oh my gosh. So I think I just got tired. So I'm good.
No, I ended up hating football. I felt like a football widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like a football widow.
Yeah.
And so I ended up hating football.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the kids have kind of reignited it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like there.
You're in it,
I'm
yeah.
there. Like,
Do you
oh,
watch
wanna come
matches?
in? I go to watch them.
But not football games on the telly. You don't watch those.
Sometimes I
sometimes.
watch it with them.
Who do you
Like,
support them?
I don't support anyone.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
neutral.
Oh,
They're Liverpool fans.
the kids.
Yeah, they're Liverpool fans
Okay, right.
inherently.
Oh, inherently. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my brother weren't happy with that because he's Man
Oh,
United.
I'm Man United.
Yeah, my brother was Man United.
Choose the right way.
But it's Alex
But my
Ferguson
husband's
time.
Arsenal. Arsenal.
Oh,
It could have been make or break. I genuinely think sometimes he looks at me like, why? But that was in my vows as well. I said I will support Arsenal on the days where Manchester United is not playing.
okay.
God is helping me with this one. He's like, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. It's fake.
It's not real. You didn't
Yeah.
mean this.
I'm like, yay, Arsenal.
So yeah, I just don't support. I like the game. I don't like being present when their team's not winning because
Yeah.
it gets very bad.
Yeah.
Liverpool was playing
peak.
what do you call it, Newcastle the other day.
Mhm.
It wasn't good in my house. The energy got very dark. Got quick. The TV got turned off, stomping up the stairs.
And all the Liverpool jokes online.
Yeah, like it was very emotional. I couldn't help them because as a mum, you know you want to help, but it's not something I can fix. So I'm
That's
just
the
like, let me
thing.
just sit this one out, just not say anything. Do you want cheesecake? Do you want no, they don't want nothing.
There's no point talking.
Mm-mm.
Just let them just run with it. Run with it.
Emotional.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, being a mum is really challenging. It was easy, then it got a bit challenging.
Where do you think the challenges arise?
So I think it was easy initially when they were born,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had my kids quite close back to back ish,
Mm.
and then because they kind of like, because their age group, they're kind of like they did stuff together.
Yeah.
So but then I've got like the older boy and the older girl, and they're now not really doing stuff together because they're going through different things. They're going through
their phases are different.
yeah, puberty. You can't talk about
Yeah.
it too much because they're gonna be like, "Mummy, why you talk about my business?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
but yeah, like so it's challenging.
Awkward. It's
yeah,
awkward ages where yours are at
Awkward.
because they're at pivotal points, aren't
Yeah.
they? Where they're starting to understand themselves in a different way.
yeah, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I can't look at them and say that I've seen this before.
You wouldn't though, because it's even what we were saying though.
Yeah.
Like I would put us in the same age bracket, right?
Yeah,
And then, but then when I was 21
Yeah.
and you're approaching, say, 30,
Yeah.
we wouldn't put ourselves in the
Yeah.
same age bracket
Yeah.
then. So it all moves with the times.
Yeah.
So when she hits like 16 and he's 19, he'll have a little bit more grace for her.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's personalities.
But even just like the interactions, like
There's not
I don't
much.
remember like no, they're very, my kids, I told you, they're just telling me about my life.
Yeah.
You're
Told
the
you to
problem.
fix up. You're the problem.
So, but even just the interaction, like the hormonal things, I don't remember having those like with my grandma, because my grandma raised me.
Okay,
So I don't
yeah.
remember having this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like the hormonal kind of changes were that.
Definitive.
Yeah.
I don't think they were allowed to be.
Yeah, because I'll just get,
It's
I'll
the
get
old school,
beaten or something. I'll get like go to your room,
Yeah.
backhand in your face, something like some
Like,
kind
you
of.
must be mad.
You must be
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
So what are we like
I
stomping
think
where?
it's that old school parenting, whereas I feel like we probably have understood the trauma. Not it, because do you know what? My mum's never ever beat me. She's never ever beaten me. But I did know boundaries to a certain extent. And I think, but then I look at the old school of parenting, and you just would never, like, a look was enough for me.
I look at them,
like,
they look
just
at me
give
back.
It's not the same. It's like,
I've got it better now. They
we
got
are
it
not the
now.
same. Yeah, of course.
Initially,
It takes
they looked back
training.
at me. Yeah.
It takes
I was
training.
they're
Like, what we couldn't dare to do, it's different times, isn't it?
yeah.
And now I think we are a lot more conscious, because back in the day, NSPCC who? NSPCC who?
Charlan.
Charlan.
Oh, wait, what?
Call it then.
My nanny said, call them.
Yeah, call them.
When they
exactly.
come, I will beat you and I'll beat them. So I just knew I was
There's
never
no
calling
point.
them. There's no point.
Call them if you want to.
You know, I mean,
that one's
I'll
on
tell
you.
my kids, like, if you ever get mad, I'll call them.
Yeah.
And then you just know where you're going to be. Like, look at what you've got surrounding you.
Exactly.
Look at this life.
It's a different scenario.
Go, you know?
Exactly.
But no, by God's grace, I've got some amazing kids,
Of
and
course.
God's really blessed me with the kids that I have.
You said was your stillborn before or
Yeah,
after?
before.
Before,
Yeah, before.
Yeah. It's
It was
hard, isn't it?
Like even when that happened again, like yourself, oh no, it'd be difficult for you to have kids and all this stuff. So now I'm like, is this what you're just telling me so that we can just, what are we doing? I don't know.
I just don't think they knew medically. I don't think they just didn't take the time to want to understand. Because everything has like an explanation. That's how I am. I'm naturally a problem solver, hence why
Solution
I do
focused.
very solution focused.
Yeah.
If you tell me you want something falling from the ceiling, I'm going to work it out of how we can do that. Yeah. So I hence why I'm in the field that I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I love sorting out problems and I love making people feel happy and special.
Yeah.
That's like just the
It
most
warms
important.
you.
Yeah. Whereas I know people say it's people pleasing, and it is to a certain degree, but there is a bad side and a good side to people pleasing, because the good side of people pleasing, it makes people happy. The bad side to it is that you lose yourself. So it's
long as you
the
get the balance,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think I'm still trying to work that out, because I think sometimes I can be unkind, not only to myself, but still working out how to move. Should I say godlike? Move in the purpose that I know. Like I know certain things are wrong, and I still may make mistakes along the way.
But that's the beauty of being human, though.
Yeah.
Like
because we're not perfect. And that's where I'm hard on myself, is that I try to get the perfection in everything. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a perfectionist. You could see like the small things.
Just the attention.
Yeah, and I'm trying.
Yeah.
Because I know that puts pressure on others, and that's not good. So I try not to inflict my perfectionism on others. Yeah. But it's hard to turn a blind eye.
Don't you feel like it can come out in ways that you just end up just being nasty. You know, just like you're cussing now, or you're not being kind about someone or whatever. And then I sometimes have to check myself, like, Jen, that's not like, stop now. You're like, girl.
Too much.
But that's the grace of God, isn't it? Is that the more you get to know him, the more you the more you know God, is the more you know certain things about yourself, and you're able to check yourself. Whereas before you just let it brush over. Whereas now I'm a lot more in tune with what God is telling me,
Yeah.
rather than what I am telling myself to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I think my space is that I like to see what I'm looking at in the mirror. Like I need to look in the mirror and like what I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's literally the
Not
space.
just aesthetically,
No.
but yeah.
Like, do I like the person? Do I like the values? Do I like the behaviors?
Yeah.
Do I like what I align to? Do I like what I'm promoting?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't align myself with everything. Some people might question some of my alignments, but
Yeah.
I know where that comes from.
Okay.
Um,
And you've got people, you said, that are looking up to you,
yeah,
and that are seeing what you're portraying.
yeah,
And I think it's really important. So me and Tyron have got a CIC, which is called
yes,
the Enrich Kids, and it's about time, love, and values with children. So Tyron does a lot of mentoring, sports mentorship, and I do like the event side of spending time together. Yeah, the more wholesome
yeah,
events.
yeah,
And for me, that next generation is like so important. Like for us to instill those values, because they're losing them. So for us to push that into them, not just as parents, but
No, as a
as a
community,
community,
we
because
all are accountable.
we've lost
Yes,
it so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Like I want to be able to say to my daughter when she's older, do you know what? Go and speak to
yeah,
Trina. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
she'll be able to guide you on this and that. And having that support network, I think that support network is so important. And that's why I'm able to kind of do what I do in terms of flying out. I'm sure people look like, oh, she's flying out to this place or wherever. But she's got great godmothers, she's got great aunties around her, like that will just step in. Yeah, my mum is the most incredible person. She has my children every Thursday, same way that my gran did for me and my sister, my cousin. And it's having that. And where are people finding that network? You only find it by being surrounded by people, because some people don't have family.
yeah. And you have to build your own tribe.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do have your
Build
family,
your own
but
tribe. Yeah.
sometimes you have your family, but that's not your tribe.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
part.
yeah, that's not your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find like-minded people, and again, that's about what you align yourself to.
Yeah.
What are your core values? You know, if those core values don't mesh, then
You
are
just
you a
gotta,
yeah?
yeah. And it doesn't have to be even a beefing thing. I feel
No,
like,
no, it's never beef. It should never be like, especially when we get to certain ages, or even like certain spaces, roles in our lives, like when we become parents or just various things. Like we need to think about: are we aligned? My stomach.
yeah. So
Are we
mine was
aligned?
moving mad before. I was like, right, you're beatboxing, okay.
Are we aligned with the same people? You know, and sometimes our alignments are not exactly the same, but do the core values resemble each other?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so we
Yeah.
might not have the same things that we're trying to do,
Yeah.
but do our core values resemble each other?
Yeah.
Is that our common ground that we can come together at?
Yeah.
You know, but I do miss that community spirit. I think, I keep on saying, I think, we've lost a generation of community spirit, and we need to rebuild it. So I love that you're doing the charity work and trying to feed the younger generation. You know, Whitney Houston, children are our
Yeah.
future. They
Exactly.
really
They
are
are. Yeah.
the future. Even how I look at my kids now, anything I do is not for the benefit of me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, oh, I need to get this new thing because, you know, no, actually it's about the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard the vibration.
Stop it. It's not about me. Anything that I
Mm.
do is like, what legacy am I leaving for the children?
Yeah.
You know, if it's not for them, then what am I doing?
What am I doing it for? Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, I agree.
I'm closer to not being here.
Yeah, that part. No, that
You
actually
know,
sounds so wild.
I know.
It was like, I know we laughed, but it's the reality.
Yeah, like I've lived like if it's 10,
Mm.
I'm well over. You know what I mean? Halfway point. I'm over the halfway point. If it's
Stop
scores and
it.
10. But God's grace, I'll have much more with my faculties,
100%, yeah.
my faculties in place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really been a good conversation.
It has.
It has.
We could go on and on, innit?
I
Oh my God.
know.
I'm just trying to make sure that I've covered everything that you wanted to talk about.
What are you doing next?
What am I doing next?
Mm.
Okay. So I've got weddings coming up. I was saying I'm currently building the website. So that brides have somewhere that they can get like the best wedding website. That is what it's going to be. It's going to be the best. Yes. Can we speak it into existence?
You gonna do my wedding?
Yeah. Clients are coming in, which is amazing. And I've got a stage show, actually, a Mother's Day one on Sunday, which is at Woolwich Works, which I'm taking over the production side from someone that has Tony Fairweather, should I say, not someone. Tony Fairweather, he's been doing stage shows for 30 years. With like Janet Kay and so, but he's now taking a step back, so he's still run this current one, and I do the stage management for it, but I've just been seeing the way that he does things, and he's happy for it to be shaken up. So next year it will be at the Catford Theatre, Broadway Catford Theatre.
Okay.
Yes, and it will be the whole production that I would have written and produced myself. Yeah.
I mean, if you ever want to actress, just
Do you do acting?
Yeah, I did performing arts.
Is it?
Yeah, I did performing arts. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fun fact, you know, Ashley was in a show called Storm Damage.
What's that one?
Don't worry about it. It's
right.
back in the day. But yeah, I auditioned for that and I got like down to the final parts. Yeah, I did the table reading opposite.
You did the table reading?
Yeah. I did that opposite the BBC. There was a building across the road from the BBC centre, and did that there. So yeah.
Hello.
I know.
So what are we doing?
I just try and, you know, honestly speaking.
Yeah, I know. Honestly speaking,
we've got different things. Me and Angie's got a plan.
Okay.
We got a plan.
Okay.
We got a plan. So just want to focus on honestly speaking, but
coming up,
definitely want to do some acting. I've written my novel. I need to adapt that, so that will be good. I'll let you know about that. So if you ever need.
No, we'll be discussing.
I
and
understand.
Talking.
Yeah, I can do monologues.
Yes, no, we'll be talking. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I've got 3 children's events as well coming up this year, which is a collaboration with 2 other ladies, and so things are moving, shifting, shaking. Not in the timeline that I probably want it, but I've learned how to. Just
everything in God's time.
Yeah.
But you forgot something.
What did I forget?
Your podcast.
Okay.
You know when you say you got to do it?
Yeah, I've got to do that part. So I start filming this week, and you've already given me tips on put something in your back pocket. So yeah, I start filming this week, and yes, we're still deciding because someone stole my name.
It's all right. It's okay. We're gonna work around it.
Well, now it's looking like I stole their name, but yeah, we're gonna work around the name. So I can't really say what the name is, but it's gonna be all about love, Black love in the UK. Looking at the dynamics of like the old school generation, speaking to the especially like the Windrush generation, speaking to them about why they made a decision to get married, fall in love, stay in certain situations. and giving their advice over to us and capturing that so that we have that going forward as well. Because unfortunately, that generation is not going to be around for a long
Much
time,
longer,
much longer. Yeah, so it's getting their like their recipes and their.
I've got my
Yeah.
nanny's recipe
Have
book,
you?
handwritten ones as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
Handwritten.
I have to come and speak to. Yeah. So
handwritten ones.
yeah, like I just want you to be all about being about love, Black Love UK, and friendships, relationships, not relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Getting together.
Yeah.
Staying together.
Because what does love look like to people? Is exactly.
And it means different things, I think.
Exactly. Some people choose to be single, and like that's who I'm going to sit down with. My mum. Can't give away all of her story, but yeah, it's a decision she made because she just wanted. Yeah, she didn't find the right person. She wasn't willing to compromise. Yeah, yeah.
And I think love is about compromise. And being and being in love unconditionally.
Yeah.
I think love doesn't have conditions.
Doesn't have conditions.
Because if
at
it's
all.
got conditions, then do I even love you?
And sometimes it doesn't even look like love. Sometimes you can't stand the person, but it's something you can get over because you can't be without that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're your person.
That's your person.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. But even in friendships, like you love, you fall out.
Yeah.
You get back together. But it's that beauty as well of what does that love look like? Because you can feel more. I don't know if you see it this way, but I don't know whether that is me being raised by my mum. I think I had a high expectation of women. So I always expected a man to do, and my mum never badmouthed men, but I always expected men to either like come and go, like you'll be in a relationship, whatever. But I had an expectation of friendships just last forever. And no one talks about that hurt of when a friendship breaks down. Yeah, a friendship breaking down. So yeah, so I want to talk about those bits on there.
I think it's important.
Yes.
Like no one tells you how to deal with the breakup. Like breakups in relationships and friendships. Like how do you deal with that? Because it's a loss. It's grief.
It is.
There's a whole grief cycle you're going through. I can't believe we're not friends anymore. I can't believe you're not my man anymore. No, this ain't real. You're in denial.
And then taking responsibility yourself, because obviously it's not just one way. It can't just be that person of taking accountability for where you've gone wrong. So, and that can be a harsh reality sometimes because you're like in that grief space where you're like just angry. It's like, I didn't do them nothing. And they
just did this to me.
And they did this, and this is what they did. And then you take a step back. You're able to reevaluate yourself and take accountability. Like, wow. So when I was sitting down cussing with them about they might have been looking at me
sideways. Yeah.
Or when I was saying, or when I did this or whatever. Like, so it's a two-way street, and that's what a relationship is, isn't it? So yes, I've loved my time here.
I can't wait for that. So something we do on Honestly Speaking, we have the previous guest ask you a question.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jaja Souls. My question to you is, what is your idea of love?
Love means... what does love mean to me? Love means to me being... Oh, God. That's a hard question, you know? Summing it up. All I can talk about is... Yeah. What does love mean to me? Love means to me being selfless, being there for people. It means compromising. It means self-evaluation and loving yourself. Loving yourself first, because I genuinely don't think you can love anybody else until you love yourself entirely. That's it.
I love that. I love that. and then if you can ask your question to the next guest.
Okay.
This one might go to H-Town or thingy, you know. So just try and make a good question.
Ooh, let me think of a good one then. My question is, what would you tell your younger self? No, wait. My
So
question is, what
introduce
would
it.
you...
So say I'm Jen.
I'm Jen. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And then
it's a bit of a boring one, though, isn't it? If you could sit with your younger self, what would you... If you could sit with your 16-year-old self, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
yeah.
Yeah. If you could sit with your younger self, what advice would you give them? Or should I say 16?
Either.
Don't know. Okay. So should I just say, hi guys,
Yeah.
okay. Hi guys, I'm Jendayi Knows, and my question is, if you could sit with your 16-year-old self, what would... Oh God, sorry. Hi guys, I'm Jendayi Knows, and my question is, if you could sit with your 16-year-old self, what advice would you give them?
Thank you. And we have a thing called True Talk Tuesdays.
Yes.
And let me find the question first and then I intro again.
My nail tech is she's gonna actually have a heart attack if she sees these on there. Can we try and hide my nails as much as possible? Because they're awful. It won't pick it up. Okay. Thank God. I kept going like this. Okay. I kept going like this to try and hide. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have a section called True Talk Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our audience members anonymously send us in some questions.
Okay.
So this question is, what advice would you give a single person that is looking to establish a relationship?
Oh. What advice would I give a single person? Are they ready to be... My advice would be, assess whether you're ready to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should enter into one if you truly haven't done work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And because a relationship's different from dating. So if you're willing to date, I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Go out, date, meet people, network, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Meet people. But I would say work on yourself
Mm-hmm.
before you're ready to commit yourself to somebody else.
And what does that work on yourself? Because people say that
I know,
a lot.
work on your...
So what does working on yourself look like? Because people keep saying, oh, you got to do the work, you got to do the work. What is the work?
Yeah. So I said I'm in a space of like self-discovery,
Mm-hmm.
learning myself again, etc. And I think that comes with therapy,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
I like spending time with myself. Spending time with yourself, because I think we're so absorbed sometimes in like the social media world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you even know what music you enjoy listening to? Do you know what your hobbies and interests are? So I think that is working on yourself. If you find out what you love to do, then somebody else, you're able to show that person how to love you.
I love that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Do you have any questions for me before we leave?
Girl,
Well,
they're going to tell us we're over our time. What's in the pipeline for Trina this year?
Oh. So I've got some big interviews coming up.
Yeah.
Ones that I'm really excited about.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, can't even say it,
I
but...
can't even say it, but I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
God willing, I'll get my novel out. And I'll tell you about it on the way home.
Yes, yeah.
And my children's book as well.
Yes.
About financial literacy. So those two.
Oh.
And And more personally,
Mhm.
be to get back on my yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to perfect my back bend. So
Girl.
yes.
Is that for a reason?
No, unfortunately not. But then also season 3. So I'm gonna
Mm.
wrap this season up
Yeah.
in July, take
Mhm.
a season break,
Yeah.
and then go again. So
Yeah.
yeah, and hopefully get to go live with season 3. We're gonna trial some stuff, isn't it, Elmo? Yeah. So we've got a few more things. The website should be launching soon. With like the virtual mentoring and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some things coming.
Exciting.
There's some things coming.
So projects are in the pipeline.
Projects
I love
are
that.
in the pipeline.
And thank you for bringing awareness to endometriosis and Black women as well, the struggles that they face with not just fertility, but Black women's health just in general. And I think we need to speak about it a lot more.
100%. It affects so many of us.
Mm.
I want to say that if you are experiencing anything, please go and like, if there's a twinge, if something don't feel right, if the bloating is just a bit too bloated this month, like if there's a shooting pain that's happened more than once, go to your doctors.
You're the one that knows your body. Like no one knows your body like the way you know it. So
and don't let people make you feel like you're a
doing too much.
hypochondriac.
Yeah.
You're doing too much. Like, be persistent, you know, make sure that you get the referrals, make sure that they check, because historically, Black women in particular we're supposed to have a high pain threshold, and you know, they just don't take us that seriously. So please make sure you take it seriously and make them take you seriously, because you don't want to find out something and it's too late.
Definitely.
So
thank you,
well,
Trina.
thank you for sharing. You shared a lot. Like, I'm thinking I learned a lot on the way here.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, there's so much to you. I don't even know
you
we had
made me
enough
feel
time.
comfortable. I'm not a regular pod person, but yes, you made me feel really
Thank
comfortable.
you.
Yeah.
And you need to let Ange know she's got to come to the couch.
I'm gonna tell them.
Tell her.
Yeah, Kelly came
Kelly's
already.
been
isn't
already.
it? Yeah.
First season 1.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Season 1.
Ange. Trina said it.
So, but no, shout out Ange, shout out Kelly.
Yeah.
Sisters, lovely sisters. And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we've got more to explore this year.
Whole heap to explore. We've got things to do now. I'm going to add acting to my vision board. How can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Jendayi Knows, JendayiKnows, or my business page, Knows Events. And I'm on TikTok, I'm on all of these things. And you can go on my website, www.knowsevents.com.
Thank you. Yeah. That's been Honestly Speaking. I've been your host, Honestly Trina. You know where you can find me: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X. Yeah, I'm here every other Sunday at midday. So like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.